And hello, everybody. So glad to be with you today. Going to be talking about awakened sales again. Today, the topic is around where is your gold mine? And so I'm going to be talking about some of the keys today around finding where is your gold mine for more awakened sales. Awakened sales meaning bringing more awakening, more impact, and more sales into yourself and circulating more good into the world. So I thought I'd start today. First of all, there is the opportunity if we have some people that are here live that would like some tuning in from me. We have an opportunity for that today. If that wants to happen, if that doesn't want to happen, that's okay. Otherwise, I'm just going to dive into some content I have to share, some cool things to share with you today. All right, so let's talk about right now, before perhaps there's some of you that want me to tune into you, talk about where your gold mine is. Now, let's talk about where it's not. Okay, so that's why I thought it might be a good idea for us to start with where it's not. And some of these things I'm going to share today are just great reminders. I'm sure you've heard these things before, um, and some of them and others are gonna awaken something new in you for 100%. I'm pretty certain of that. Okay, so let's get into it. So the number one thing is, I think if you're really looking to thrive and prosper, and you're looking for your gold mine, you might look for it in all the wrong places. A way to really secure income and riches at a price that is way too high. For example, let me just find a job that pays me enough. That maybe that's my gold mine. Or maybe if I find somebody, could this doesn't necessarily mean woman or man. This could be true. Maybe I marry somebody. They got a lot of money. That could sound appealing. Wow. Okay, that's my gold mine. Um, Let me do something that'll make me a lot of money because everybody else seems to be making a lot of money in it. At least that's what I'm told. And so I'll get into some MLM, or again, I'm not here totally dissing them, but I'm just saying, like, it could be an internet marketing scheme or something else, something that's going to make me a lot of money fast. All right. Okay. So where's your gold mine? Is it any of that? No way. It's never going to be in those things. Typically, it's going to be in something that calls where? To your soul. And we're going to get more into that later. It's going to be something that calls to your soul. It's kind of the common denominator here. Next thing is that gold mine going to be finally, you know what? That's it. I'm surrendering. I'm just going to go super spiritual. I'm tired of trying to make anything happen. That's it. It's got to come to me, otherwise it's not happening. Like, this is a tactic a lot of us find ourselves at after we get tired of trying to make things happen. Maybe if I surrender enough and let go, everything will just come to me, and I won't have to really involve myself so much, and then it'll just happen. Well, as much as I'm for surrendering and letting things come to you, for most of you, that's not going to work either. That's not going to be your gold mine. Having only an inward sort of focus and only coming from that place, and not having any sort of outward focus, and not really having any focus and attention in a particular direction, but just like, hey, let it come to me. It's not a great way to land with your gold mine, although that is a great foundation to start with. I would say surrender, get connected. That's a great place to start and always return to. But then there's other aspects of yourselves to tune into, to allow yourself to allow the riches to be turned on inside, and therefore to be in that place of service from the riches within, and helping people in the way that you're meant to. Another place where it's not, these are again where the gold mine is not. I'm going to hit these up a little bit longer. It's trying to fit in and do something, just trying to do ordinary things. The people I help are people who want to do big things. You want to do big things, or you're already up to sort of big things, but you want to do bigger things. So if you try to fit in and you keep trying to do things a lot, you look at other people. I was just on a call, and there's a lot of conversation about not wanting to compare to others, but yet the mind is still connected to the idea of comparing myself to others. So I keep trying to see, well, how am I versus them? And we have to let go of the comparison stuff. And Stop trying to measure ourselves based on others. Just what calls to you to be doing in the world, and how you're valuing yourself too. Like things like how much you're charging. What calls to your soul to be charging? It doesn't matter if it's way higher or it's not as much as other people. It's what calls to you, rather than trying to fit into with others. That will not bring you prosperity. I see it for my clients. I've seen it for myself in the past, especially. So try to fit in. You try to use the same old formulas other people are using. Doesn't seem to work. All right, you'd think it'd work, but it doesn't necessarily work. Most of the time, it doesn't. Staying with your same old beliefs. That's like the number one that won't work. You stay on the same concepts about your life and you cling to them, and then also hope for riches. It's not going to happen. So I really think we shouldn't be about money, and I think money's the problem, and but I'd love to be rich. Okay, so if you're both mindsets deeply, that's going to definitely keep you from the gold mine. The gold mine is not seeing separation, it's not seeing limits, it's seeing opportunities. And where are those opportunities that I would like to be a part of, from the sense of being connected and abundant within yourself and not having any false beliefs. I always say, even some of the ones that sound positive, well, I just want to be about love and light, and okay, great, but that's like you trying to play it safe. Why not say, yeah, I want to be love and light and I want to get results, and just get some of that grittiness into your vibration. Stop lying to yourself that you only want to be love and light. That's an escape mechanism for, again, most everybody. Or having old belief systems around money. Well, how could I ever, ascend if I'm sitting here trying to make lots of money? That doesn't make any sense. Well, maybe part of your pathway is to enjoy experiencing a lot of circulation and service that you're giving, letting people invest in it, and that you're just a vessel for the money to come in. Maybe you're going to hire people. Maybe that money is being distributed. Maybe you could even distribute it evenly after expenses. There's so many different. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying there's so many evolved enlightened models for money to flow, and not to be the idea of it's about control. Like, oh, I would be in controlling it. I'm trying to build my ego and everything through money. It is not about that. It's about allowing yourself to be provided for in the way that calls to your spirit and your soul and your path without judgment, because it will take you to where you're meant to go. And you don't know. This lifetime may be a school of money. My guess is it probably is if you're listening to me. Most of you have again, I'm just using this just in a general term, not from any particular, construct of like human design and all these sorts of things that are great. But like, you might be in the school of money this lifetime, and you need to master your energy around money. Then you need that. Then stop saying that's not about money and you don't care that much about money, or it's all about money and nothing else. Either, like all these weird ideas we get. Or you keep judging yourself that you're not good enough. Maybe you're not as good as other people. Maybe you're not ready. I'm not ready enough. Eventually I'll be ready. How much longer do you want to hang on to this false belief? It's time to let that go. If you're feeling the desire to do something right now, and it feels true, then it's time to do it now. It doesn't matter how ready or not ready you are. Again, we think about the biblical stories. We've heard the Moses thing a million times. What, me? The burning bush? Hey, you're going to do all these things. Who, me? You're kidding me? I'm not ready. Yeah, you are. I just said you're ready. Okay? When your source, your spirit says you're ready, you're ready. That's your gold mine. Okay? You got to follow that. Let's talk some more about where your gold mine is and your purpose in business. So one of the places it is that a lot of times we just don't spend enough time recollecting and remembering is what are some things that have always interested you? I really do think we can find our gold mine in our story of our life, especially the early years. What were the things you loved as a kid? I remember, reading Richie Rich comic magazine. I was like, yeah, I'd love to be rolling in vaults with money, and that sounds like fun. I didn't look at it. I just thought it would be fun. It just felt good, and so So that right there was telling me something about wanting to embrace money and love money in this lifetime. I loved adventuring. Okay, even if you didn't do great things, like I did not nice things in the world at one time, vandalism and things like that. But it was an adventure. It was wanting to mix it up in the world and make impact. In that case, maybe not great impact, but I wanted to make impact, and I felt invisible, and it was my way of screaming out, "Hey, I matter in the world." So I would go walk for miles and miles and do all kinds of things, and I was like a nomad. So this idea of being just kind of doing what I want to do. It was from early in my life, but of course, it may not have been so spiritually evolved at that time. But this idea of just, I'm my own person, I'm my own divine sovereignty. That's part of my message. That'd be like part of my message, part of my branding. Embrace money, part of my branding. All these things are a part of me, part of what I should be talking about. What else? I mean, so many things interested me. That I could talk about, but I loved helping counsel people, help them see their potential where they couldn't see it. I always loved that. That was always a passion of mine. And so, what interests you? Like, so I gave you some of mine. What were things that interested you? I mean, I was thinking about making. I kind of let go of the whole money thing for a while when I got into doing like counseling, social work sort of thing, and so wasn't so focused on it during that period of my life. But when I was younger, I was always thinking about making a lot of money. It's like, okay, I'm going to have my own business and I'm going to make a lot of money and things like this. These ideas were in my head like early in my life. And my parents were both in business. And I was like, yeah, I want that too. I want that independence. I don't want to have to work for someone else. I could get jobs. I did end up doing that for a while. But I wanted to be on my own. And I always thought about making money. And I even had my own business as I was younger. I was small. It was just cutting people's yards, but it was a business. I had my own golf cart and everything. It's going around with my lawnmower. I was like, hey, let's get down to it. Let's be of service to people. What do they want? I can do that. Okay, exchange. I asked for this, right? So getting in that business energy. So what were you up to? What were you doing? I did creative writing. I just so what? Just make a list, and then are you incorporating those things into your purpose, into your business, into your life? Um, One of the best things that someone ever asked me, I kind of questioned at first, that has helped me understand, that I really want to help people with sales is people said, what angers you the most? Like, what gets you riled up the most? And I could say it's untapped potential because it definitely that is one of the things that I don't want to say it angers me though. It's something that like really calls to me. Man, we have so much more. People don't understand who they are. Oh my God, we're infinite beings, and so many people don't get it. Don't really get it. They can even read all the books and everything, still not acting like they're infinite beings. But the biggest thing that happened for me is I realized seeing myself at times and others struggle needlessly with sales was what really got me going. Like really like, oh, it shouldn't be like an injustice, to all humanity, like sales not happening where they should be. So that's why I help people with sales is because it's a visceral feeling I get when I consider, and it was something that always bothered me with my parents. I see them; they're not making the kind of money they could be making. I'm like, why not? What? Come on! I mean, let's do the things that are required so you could grow your business, mom, dad. But so they didn't typically always take my advice. My mom did at times. That made a huge difference. But so it's kind of a natural, uh, business mind and coach. Even back then, it was just natural to me. So what came natural to you? What has always sort of riled you up, where you saw where people could be helped more? That speaks hugely to what you should be taking a stand for. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit further and see if any of you guys want some for me to tune into your energy today. If you want an energy scan, by the way, you can start typing in the comments. Energy scan, I'll tune into your purpose where I see more opportunity for you, for new sales, if you're in business, etc. Okay, so let me know. The next thing is what where your gold mine can be too is now this might be the same as the last one, but where are your challenges? Where's your number one challenge in your life? What really is kicking your butt the most in your life? Like I could say, like right now, um, there are moments of the sense of like, wow, I've got a lot to do. Like as my business is growing, it gets you busier. So if someone asked, what's your top challenge right now? That might be one of them. I'd be like, wow, I just feel a little out of breath at times, and I'm having a good time, but man, it just feels a little heavy at times. And then my prescription is to chill out more, deepen my presence, etc. So looking at how to make things easier, lighter, right? So those are my prescriptions. So what am I doing for others? I would do the same, right? So I'm here to teach what I am here to learn. That's where your gold mine is. Okay, how can I always say to people, let it be easy. Why am I saying that all the time? Because I know that that is part of my path as well. It's part of my way of being. And if I let things be a little too challenging, it gets heavy and I'm not having as much fun. Let it be fun is another one of my mantras. And then, I suffer. I suffer. I want to go in a cave. I will shut off my sales. I will not want to serve more people. I literally, like, I could talk to 20 people and I could feel like I'm doing all I can to serve them and see if they want to work with me. And it won't work because if my energy is saying no at some level, no, I'd rather have some more time off to meditate. I'm not going to bring on new clients. So I have to create it in a way where it works for me on every single level. And I think a lot of times people miss that. So, where's your number one challenge? It's speaking to deeper needs that you have, and then how can you create it all so it works for you at every level? That's where your gold mine is. That's something I definitely help people with and identifying because I can see you guys. I can see what your divine design is. I can see how things can work for you. So, definitely let me know if you want some scanning now in the future. Next thing is around benefits. So, what are the things you want in your life without any like sense of limitation of what could be possible, or your judgments that well, why do you want that? You shouldn't want that. So many of us are, and spiritual people are conditioned out of our desires. Like, oh, you shouldn't want that. Like just drop your desires. You should want nothing but presence and if you want things, you want things. It's okay. It's okay to want things. I don't see any issue with it. Now, if you're attached to it and it's a sticky thing, of course. Okay, now we've got an issue. But if it's something you just naturally desire, then there's no reason to let that go. You could have that. You could experience that. There might be something in that that's important to you in having that castle or something as simple as for me, I like to play tennis. Allowing myself to play tennis, allowing the space rather than having excuses. Well, with everything else I got going on, I don't know about that. So you just create the life that you want. You lay it on thick. So whether you want a mansion, you want people to serve you, you want maids and butlers or whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't care. But what is it you really want for your life? Maybe it's you just want to. I've got a friend that wants a tiny house and maybe a couple of other small places in Hawaii and Puerto Rico and around the world. It's his own package, his own right package. What's your right package? What is right for you? What just feels true, you know? So what kind of life do you want, not just materially, but what kind of energy do you want to live in? What kind of contribution do you want to have? What would it be? What's the sense of it? How would it be if it were at its highest level? And quantifying it can be helpful, not as something you're striving for and you have to make happen, but just to be aware of. Man, I don't know, it'd feel good if I could do this. And just be really light with it. Be really light with it. In a relaxed and easy fashion, right? So, in a healthy and positive way for the highest good of all, is what we say. Easy and relaxed manner, always, always, always. Always come back to that. All right, next thing is creating an amazing marketing and sales for what you're here to serve. How can you do that? Well, some of it, again, we get in our brains. I could come up with manuals of what smart marketing is. That's easy, actually. That isn't so hard for people like me to come up with. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to create effective marketing. The most effective marketing, again, is these days is authenticity and hard base, and it's been that way for a long time. It's just only getting more and more stronger. It's getting stronger. Doesn't mean marketing copy and all these little hooks and things that people do in marketing doesn't work, because it sure can still, and it can be helpful in helping people to want to engage and be engaged. I think it's okay as long as you're not, leading people down something that, if it doesn't feel right for you and it doesn't seem true, then maybe not. But it can be helpful. But you need, when I say this, what I'm really saying is, amazing marketing and sales is that is soul driven. That is really the deepest level of love and service possible, flowing through your heart and your presence for who you're here to help, that you just want to be so deeply present with them. Very present energy coming through your marketing and your sales processes. So, have you created that? Where are you deficient? Where are you having some issues? Do you have a way of consistently, you know, getting leads or new buyers all the time? Whatever the usual questions. But do you even know who your market is? Do you know who your tribe is? Who your ideal clients are? Do you know what offers would be best for you to offer to them? What is your soul signature programs? Let's call them those for now. Um, and then how much are you selling them at without wobbling? So many people come up with prices and are all over the place. Well, I think I won't charge much. Wait, I should charge more. No, I should charge less. No, maybe in the middle. I don't know. You know what? I'm just charging this for now. And then in a year, and then it's like, okay, just what do you just get? That is definitely an energetic issue. You've got an energetic issue around your value and your services, perhaps, or just the idea of letting more money come in and it's not safe for you for somehow. So what we need to do is understand what is messing up your energy. It's going to mess up your marketing and sales. Like I said before, if I'm tired and I feel like, man, I've got more than enough on my plate. I don't. Last thing I want to add new clients right now. If I really felt that way, I'm not going to have any more sales. So where can you lighten the load? Where can you open your energy more? Be authentic, be clear, just follow your guidance, follow your knowing, and then take the time to dial in your audience, your program, your marketing system, what's going to work for you, whether it's doing Facebook Lives or it's doing network marketing, it's doing podcasts, it's doing video marketing, doing evergreens. Oh my God, there's so many things. We just have to determine what is it for you. So what is the right tactic or strategies, and what's the right marketing message, and what's the sales process that's going to work for you, so that it feels soul satisfying rather than a chore or something I have to do where I don't want to do. So that is where your gold mine is finding where your one of the words I've used with one of my clients for her brand is soul resonant. So what is soul resonant? Soul resonant, SO resonant or soul resonant. Just put a U and a L at the end of it. What is soul resonant for you? And you follow that, it'll work. Next thing is loving yourself and everyone fully. Love yourself and everyone fully. If you're busy judging yourself and judging other people that are successful, and or judging that you're just so not well or good, or you're no good because other people are succeeding, you're not. Of course, that's not going to work. So love yourself right where you are. There's a beauty to wherever you are. If you're doing well, there's a beauty to that. If you're struggling, there's a beauty to that. It's not like one is superior to another in a way. Okay, we all would prefer to be successful, but wherever you are, it has a beauty. It has something that you're meant to be where you are right now because you're there, and there's something beautiful about it. There's something that you called this in for a reason. Your gold mine is loving and appreciating exactly where you are, and letting what new things may want to unfold through you to come through, and embracing everything, loving everyone and everything, ultimately bringing love to all of it, and sharing your truth with the world. Your slice of the pie that you're here to bring full on, to bring that full on, whatever messages and things you have to share. We have a message to share with the world, right? We have an impact we want to bring into the world. What is it for you? So some of the things that I shared today, I think, can help you with that. And then from there, one of the last things, and then I have to wrap it up here, is I didn't see any requests for energy scans, by the way. So if you wanted me to tune in, just let me know. I'm looking here for comments. Oh, Ronaldo. Okay, you did ask for an energy scan. All right, great. So let's go ahead and do one right now. Thanks for hanging in here with me. Just have a minute or two, but let's take a look at anything I have for you today. Okay, hold on, Ronaldo. I get peace, dignity, and honor. Yeah, we're just on that side. I get that for you. You have to have peace, dignity, honor, and respect for yourself. I hear something about the math doesn't matter. The math doesn't matter. I get this feeling of math, like like um, math, like being elusive maybe to you in the past, maybe as a kid or something. And the math doesn't matter. The math doesn't matter is the message. Okay, let me see what else I'm going to say about that. Yeah, I just keep getting being of love and service to others what matters. That's what matters. Share your unique, powerful gifts with the world with your full, open heart. I see that navigator energy. You can see where things want to go for other people. You really do. You can see people clearly. You can see where things want to go for them. So you can, lay that out for them. Hey, what I see for you is I see this is wanting to happen for you. So if you're providing some spiritual life coaching for people, you can see their potential. You can see who they are. So it's the seeing ability to see people is important because that's all that they're asking you to do. They're asking you to be able to see them more than anything. Is the feeling I'm getting. Okay, not to figure it out, not to solve it, but to see them, to love them, to acknowledge them, see where they are, give them input. Where do you see things going? Give them perspective. Um, Give them a sounding board, and then to deepen them with the tools that you have. Okay. So you're helping people master their connection with their spirit is the feeling I get. That's the feeling I get around it. And like, from here, for example, like this is the beginning of a process. Like if we were to dive in and explore that further, we might come up with again like your brand or your theme or whatnot, and then who is it for? Who are these people that are feeling lost or confused or not seen or heard that need your touch? Okay, so that's what I have for you right now. I need to go in about a minute, so I do see Jackie here. Jackie, one or two quick things, and then I can always give you some more energy scanning. You're working with me, so a little bit, so we can do that more later. Today, the message just is to trust again your heart. Rather than the sense of your small self, it says, "Who, me?" Trust the power of your heart to want to serve, and that is always more than enough. So that's the one message for you today, Jackie, is remember there's a superpower in your heart that will transcend any sense of limits you have and bringing forth what you're meant to bring forth right now. That'd be true for all of you at some level, for sure. Okay, all right, well, so glad to share with you. I think I got to everybody that asked for one today. And I'll be back again in 1 week, 3 p.m. again Central next Monday with another live. Might do some more energy scanning. We'll see. Okay, but I'm grateful to be with you today. Much love, peace, and blessings, and many sales. And goodbye for now, everybody.